That would not be good.
Turning red.
All right. So, welcome back, guys, to another live episode of Good Morning Hospitality. Today, we are talking about how U.S. inbound travel slump is happening, a surprisingly smart airline merger, Google turning AI chats into checkout lanes, and Marriott making loyalty a lifestyle. And of course, we have this very cool unhinged story that you really, truly can't make up. So, let's get into it. You didn't get to see my dance moves off stage.
I was jamming back there. I love it. This new intro in a couple of weeks, I still bounce. It gets me
Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah, and welcome back. Another Wednesday here in our studios.
Right?
Yeah, it's looking good. We both got some new backgrounds. I feel like we got some new tech. We got some things happening. A nice upgrade for the year.
Yeah. New year, new vibes.
New vibes. And talking about, I had a question for you. I was thinking about this morning.
Okay. Oh, on the hot seat.
I was listening to music this morning, and it hit me. Right, we're the same age, but I was listening to TRL mix from '99 to 2003, and I realized, man, we used to get fed so much different kind of music. Like it went from like punk rock to like boy band to R&B to death metal stuff, and we had so much good music back then. And I don't know, if I was in your car right now, what are we listening to, Sarah? I was just curious.
You guys know this enough about me. My musical tastes are all over the place. It's funny because I was actually just listening to a song by Young Gravy right before we got on. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I know Young Gravy. I know him. I don't know what song does he have?
What song was I doing? I was doing Gravy Train. Don't make me play it. You guys. Oh my gosh, on that gravy train. Oh, I love that. But yeah, no, I'll do that. I'll hop to like something from the 60s. I'll have a little bit of a 70s moment. 80s are always good. I've been really I've been listening to a lot of like old school R&B from the early 2000s. Like that's been my jam.
R&B. I'm never the R&B guy, but I was just thinking about it. Golden Globes were on and all the music was kind of like early 2000s. They were playing as a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Then I was in another hotel. I was like, man, like I'm jamming. I started bobbing my head, and I did realize it was all stuff from when we were like in college, and like, all right, we're getting old, but it was the good music back then. So anyway, I'm getting sidetracked in our coffee talk this morning about
that's all right.
The importance of the vibe it sets.
Well, I love that you say that because first of all, anybody that knows me, or whenever you're out with me, I will always be like, oh, interesting song choice. Interesting song. I really should have been a DJ, or maybe I was in another life. But I'm always hearing the music in different places. And yeah, I've noticed a lot lately. Early 2000s is everybody's playing it. It's crazy.
It was funny. I had someone in my car, and on my radio was Blink 182, and it was like pop punk going, and they're like, "Oh, this is like the classics." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. It was a good era.
Okay. But anyhow, I really liked it. And I was just curious there. I didn't realize what I'd be listening to in your car. So some slow R&B jams like Casey and JoJo.
No, not slow. Not slow. Like, I don't know. You know what we should do offline? By the way, and I love this feature. We should create a Spotify jam. And then it'll show you what musical taste.
We'll do Sarah list and a Steve list, and we'll have listeners come and choose and listen and listen with us. All right, we'll do that after. I like it.
Cool. You're like, all right, enough talk about music.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, listeners. Tell us, what are you listening to in your car? I'd be curious. If we're in the car with you, what band are we listening to today?
Oh, and then if there's a beat, I'll be like, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, who's looking over?
And it's going to be extra warm in this office today. The AC's broken, so we'll see if I start sweating during the show, everybody. We'll see. Let's see what happens.
Woohoo, Miami weather. Yeah. With that being said, I feel like we should kind of get into, Jason, thanks so much for joining us. Howdy.
Yeah. And Jason, congratulations to Yippee yesterday. Raised $1 million to pre-seed money to start putting out their hotel software management.
Nice.
The standards management software. So congrats.
Well done. Well done. Well, so much good stuff going on, but let's have a serious talk with this first topic because this first topic isn't the greatest, and I'm gonna, yeah. So, I mean, this should not be a surprise, but overseas travel to the United States has slumped for the 8th straight month. Yeah, I mean, again, it fell again in December. This should not be a surprise. This is the 8th straight month of it, and it's interesting because it's not like we're just in this like interesting like stuck sort of place with it. December overseas travel was down 1.3% to 3.2 million travelers, and it's still only, for just reference, it's still only 92% of 2019 levels. So we're close, and some people might be like, "Oh, that's only like 8% away," but that makes a big impact, and it's a struggle that combined with inflation and everything else. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
getting tough out there, and we're starting to feel it. I can think that in certain cities are really starting to feel it and see it. Like I'm lucky, not lucky enough. I'd say I'm grateful enough. We have a great management company, and we get to manage a bunch of different
yeah,
types of homes across South Florida, not just in Miami, but on the West Coast too. And the West Coast is really depending on a lot of people from Canada coming down, and a lot of
mhm,
those homes are sitting vacant right now. Those vacation homes that last year were booked up during this time, and you see it as a big, big drop. And
yeah.
I don't see it getting any better. It's not a politics show, but we have certain things that the US does and how we reflect to others around the world. And I think some people take a pause and say, you know what, let me check out some other places this year versus coming here.
Oh, sure. Well, and it is interesting because there are definitely conflict, and I feel like this has been talked about before, but there are conflicting messages coming out. I mean, you could say from the White House, from the government, in the sense that on one hand, it's like, oh, we've got FIFA, we've got all this stuff happening, we want people to come, and then it's like, great, more people can't come, or if they're coming, they have to pay more visa bonds to get in, or we have to like look at their social media history or this, and so a lot of people are like, whoa, pump the brakes. So anyway, I mean, a lot of that is the reality. I know it's definitely been felt in Los Angeles. I mean, wild is that Canada's car returns, so car rental returns from the US in December were down 28.6%. It's almost 30%. So
Huge.
airlines have also been cutting seats between Canada and the US. So I don't know. It's supposed to be our big like tourism is back year, but I just feel like we need to make visiting the US a little bit easier in a
And
safe
we want
way.
some of these states, like, yeah, we want to see some of the tourism and travel boards of every big state really start to push. I know Florida does a really good job at it, but they had started cutting back some money, and so other states need to start really participating and saying why they should come there. But here's some couple stats. So 5 of the top 10 tourist generating countries posted declines in December. United Kingdom was down 4.1%, India down 11.4%,
That's
Germany down 7.3, France down 5.9, and China down 10%. So big drops just in the month of December for those
yeah.
countries.
Yeah, across the board, really. So yeah, it's tough. And so let us know, like, if you're in a big city, or do you notice it? Do you see the differences? Definitely Los Angeles for sure. See it there and in other cities. So
Yeah. And Christelle said Palm Beach is missing Europeans and Canadians. Christelle, I was just there January 4th, a Sunday. Busy, but not like slammed. I don't know if you think that's the same kind of vibe you're seeing on the streets every day that you're there, Christelle, but it's interesting because that's really, if you haven't been to Palm Beach, that's the ultra wealth is there. So usually you see that
yeah,
kind of, we said, like insulated from everything else going on, but it felt a little bit different.
totally.
Miami feels a little bit different this year, not as much traffic everywhere, which I don't mind, but you can kind of
Yeah.
feel it. And hello from Orlando, Robert. Good to see you.
Hello, Orlando in the house. Well, there you go. I mean, that's what's going on. We're all sort of feeling the pinch, but hopefully there's some changes happen soon. I mean, obviously that would be like a lot of changes, but hopefully, because again, like we all want to have a strong, thriving economy, and a lot of that relies on having visitors come to town that want to come and spend their money here. So
good to see you from Switzerland.
Switzerland.
And Lou shouting or saying many of his Canadian friends have canceled cruises from US as well as land trips. Yeah, look, just saying here, Visit Florida said it's down 15%, which is it's a big number coming through in the month of 2025. So
That's a lot. That is a lot. So anyway, that's the reality of what's going on. But let's go ahead and switch gears just a bit. Talk about this interesting inside the Sun Country merger. The Allegiant CEO kind of explains the deal. So Allegiant, so those that don't necessarily know, Allegiant and Sun Country are basically kind of almost becoming this like anti-Spirit merger. So these two low-cost carriers, they've figured out a way to stay profitable. So it's not necessarily just about routes. I like this. Their play is really for diversified revenue. So because Sun Country is kind of cargo and charter. So that's obviously I like this. It's kind of the idea of like that's like grown-up money, so that's like the real money behind it. Sorry. And then, so the other side of it is that it's very much like the very specific routes to certain locations. So it's this interesting combination of like cargo and business, then also leisure travel. So I think it's kind of a smart move.
Yeah, and this one is not, it doesn't, no one looks like they're going out of business. They were saying Sun Country has a good, strong balance sheet. They have money on the books. It looks nice. And it really is just coming together to make a better product for all of the consumers out there and their customers. And they're saying it's going to save them. This is big numbers, $140 million cost savings they see just by merging together, which goes straight to the bottom line and helps out their stockholders. And I'm sure it's going to be a great fit for them. I love seeing it because I know we've talked about Spirit a couple times. We talked about JetBlue and they just couldn't get things to the finish line. So let's see what happens here. But I haven't flown either of them. Or Allegiant, right? So I'm curious to see how it goes. But they're based in Las Vegas, where you're at.
Yeah, they are in Las Vegas. So, and they're going to continue to keep the headquarters here. So, yeah, it definitely makes sense. And it's interesting because this one seems to be pretty like regulation friendly. They anticipate that this could happen as soon as the end of 2026, which is a pretty quick merger. So, I'd love to see happen to them. I would love seeing companies stay in business and come together. We're all about making sure jobs get saved. I know when you merge, sometimes you have duplicates of things, but hopefully this is a win for everybody on there. Yeah, exactly. And whatever, maybe at some point I'll fly an Allegiant flight and I will report back. Everybody knows who I'm loyal to, but
yes, a Delta flyer. We'll see. Anyone flown Allegiant out there? Let us know. I'm curious to see what you thought about it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, no, that would definitely be interesting. Yeah, because I mean, again, it all depends on where they're flying and whether it makes sense, makes sense for where you're trying to go. So, all right, let's switch it up again. Google. So Google's new tech lets AI agents handle checkout. Dude.
This is a big one.
I'm sure this is big. You want me to kind of go into it, or do you want to kind of like?
I mean, I'll take this one because I found it really interesting. Where now,
I know this is totally your cup of tea.
For everyone out there using AI, you see we're in the chats and you can kind of request things. Now, ChatGPT had it for a little bit now, where they've popped up where you can buy things within the chat and they start suggesting things for you. Now Google is taking it almost a step further, where they'll do the entire buying process for you. So you could say, hey, I want. I need a new toaster, get me one and send it to my house. And it will go all the way through that process, make sure to buy it for you and send it to you. And they're going to complete that entire process. So you have your credit card on file. They'll be able to shop for you. They'll know everything and do it just as if you had an assistant that's working really hard for you and knows your likes and dislikes. And so they were talking about all the different kind of technology that goes into it behind the scenes, which I'm learning the language, but it's very interesting to see. But what I want people to realize is this is no time better than now to really get your brand out there. Because if people don't know your brand or your personal brand or who you are and anything that you can buy, the AI is making decisions for the person purchasing. So if you're not showing up online or in that AI's universe, it's going to get a little interesting for people. And how do you start getting in there as best you can?
Well, and it's interesting because it's like they've got it obviously makes sense for easier purchases, but what's great is that they're really building they really are building the sort of like guardrails for more complex purchases. So it's very much like discovery to checkout, and then I like even post purchase as well, all in one flow. This is very big news, and. I feel like I need to play around with it a bit more because I have not. But
it's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool to see what's going to happen here because I could see it already. Like if you're on a trip on your own, right? Like you're doing your thing. You're out of the city. You know you want to go to that museum, but you don't want to like go online and buy the ticket and do the whole thing. You tell AI, hey, I'm going to lunch. Buy this ticket for this time zone, or so I can get in to go see the statue of David, and it will do it for you, and then send it to your Apple Wallet at some point, right? That's where this is all going.
Yeah.
I see Lou said he's not interested in at all in AI buying my stuff. I hear you. It's now going to get to a point where you will get used to it, I feel like, because it's going to be everywhere. It's already starting to trickle into everything. Even when you're doing Google searches now, that AI summary at the top is telling you everything summarized, and it'll say, it's starting to suggest things that you can buy. ChatGPT is doing it for me now too on a lot of things, right? Suggesting things. It has this daily pulse every day that suggests things based off of what I was asking it before and how it can be a better daily pulse the next morning. And so I've told it to look out for purchases on a trip that I'm going. I told him I'm going to Moab, Utah. So, hey, tell me about things I should do and what I need to do to make it happen. And it told me, here's everything you need to do. You need me to go buy it for you.
I love that. I mean, that and like building out like a timeline for it and like when you should be ordering this,
it's coming. And so that's where I get worried too, is like the people that control the AI is going to control who's getting things sold to. So I'm hoping there's still a way for mom and pop shops and, these boutique hotels and smaller companies to really get their name out there to make it happen. And David Turk, he's in technology every single day. So he's saying AI agents are very helpful for handling tasks while you're busy with something else. I use it all the time.
And I will say this, there's an interesting thing, I think about this like with travel bookings and let's say like using travel agents, there's a lot of room for error. It's name, like flipping a letter in a name, maybe date of birth, putting that in wrong because obviously it's done one way in the US and the other way elsewhere as far as like month and date, etc. And so when I think about the number of times that errors can happen and do happen, I think we've all experienced that at different times. And then how this, I think, will really streamline that because that's kind of built in. Also, it'll go with the information that you have already put in there. So long as you put in accurate information, I feel like that'll also minimize some of those speed bumps along the way.
I think a good homework assignment for all the general managers listening or any leaders listening right now or hotel owners, anyone that's listening right now, go on to ChatGPT or onto Google and type in, tell me the top 5 hotels in whatever city you're in. And if your name is not showing up, you really need to work with your PR company and your marketing company because that's what's going to start happening. It's going to be the top 5 or top 10 and everyone else is going to be out because you're not going to have as many people researching like we used to, like go on Expedia and TripAdvisor and Google reviews and really like study every hotel and look at every review, right? It's going to be very different coming up. So that's your homework, leaders. See if what's coming up for you and see what you need to do to make it happen.
I like that. Good homework. Oh my gosh, check it out. The sun's coming
up. Yeah,
I know, right?
There's in a new studio and the window, she's got sunrise coming right in. Look at glowing.
It's glowing. It is glowing. Sorry for the distraction there with that. Okay. So definitely interesting times when it comes to AI and what Google's doing. So let's go ahead and talk about Marriott and how they are expanding their loyalty strategy with ICC cricket partnerships. So Marriott's message is really clear with this. Loyalty can't live just inside the hotel anymore. We've kind of seen this before. We're continuing to see it. It's got to show up in real life. And what are the different partnerships, different sports? And cricket, by the way, is not just a sport. It is a travel trigger, just like so many of these other things, from golf to tennis to soccer/football, so people basically are planning their entire holidays around it. And so Bomboy, this is kind of cool, is the official ICC's accommodation partner throughout 2029. So this is, I mean, I'm not a cricket person, but I can see that.
I'm not either, but I know that the top cricket fan is the #1 like athlete in the world with followers, right? The cricket is a gigantic sport, especially in that part of the world. I wish I knew more about it. But people travel just for those tournaments. They see this tournament coming, just like FIFA has with the soccer tournament coming to the US. People are planning their entire summers around these things. And like we've been talking about, now travel is about the experience. So it is hospitality. It's that memory making event. So that sports location. It's about what comes around those things and all the festivals and food and drinks. It really is a special partnership that I think will do a fantastic job. And I think we're going to see more and more companies doing this because it's not just about the hotel. It's about what am I experiencing around that hotel.
It's not about just about points, but it's about access. And then loyalty is kind of like the backstage pass for that.
Yeah. And so I can see myself now using, because I'm not the most loyal points guy. I know you're very driven on certain points. Like I look for like really good deals and which hotels I like, but if it's around a certain event, right? And I know that I can get a better rate and I can be taken care of because I'm coming for that event. That's what I'm going to be excited about coming through.
I'm checking. Yeah, no, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up kind of, I think it'll be it'll be interesting how it moves forward, because obviously you'll have these bigger brands that'll be fighting for that access, because you can't just have, one hotel brand always having the access. So you'll have other ones trying to kind of vie for that. So, that's going to be the interesting part.
Yeah, this also kind of makes me think about what else was going on in the world now with like coffee shops, right? Like Polo has their coffee shop, Ralph Lauren. And there's a couple other brands out there, like Tiffany has their coffee shop, but now more and more brands are starting to get into that space. So it's like kind of everyone wants the experience of what they like, that lifestyle. And I think that's what these hotel brands need to do more and more of. So I'm excited to see what happens.
For sure. Yeah, it's definitely going to be very interesting. Okay. So we have a new segment that we're wanting to do. I have the sun directly in my eye.
It's so funny. If you're watching this, we've watched the sunrise come in on Sarah's face. It's all good.
I have to fix it.
Yeah. So listeners, as you listen to this podcast, Sarah has left us in the studio to put the shades down in her new office as the sun comes up. But that's the kind of probes we are here live. We want to make sure you get top quality.
Had to do it, guys. That feels so much better. I also couldn't see my screen. Okay. Appreciate it. Live and crazy. Okay. It's okay. We know where it is for next week. So I am really excited about this because we obviously cover all the serious things that are happening in travel, hospitality, hotels, but sometimes stuff happens that you can't make it up. So we're kind of doing a new Unhinged series, crazy things that are happening. And this one I think is kind of wild. I don't even know how this ended up happening, but a woman boarded a Batik Air flight dressed as cabin crew. So basically this 23-year-old boarded a flight dressed as cabin crew. Oh, it's almost like Catch Me If You Can, but like budget and chaotic and all that. And so she allegedly had a real boarding pass. So she got through screening and the crew only caught it mid-flight when she couldn't answer basic work questions.
So crazy. People that pick you back up. I just want to see the badge that she has on. Let me see.
Yeah. Take a look at this.
I want to see. Look, she even printed out a badge. She got a little clip that she got from the store. She thought about this. She's like, all right, I'm going to get on here. I'm going to make sure I look just the part. But what do you think is going to happen when they start passing out snacks and drinks on this plane?
It's like, go get the snacks and you're like, where are they? But so what's interesting is why this happened. So I don't know if you saw that, but she reportedly failed an interview to become a flight attendant. And so she did this so her family would think that she actually got hired. I'm like, what?
It's amazing.
Can you imagine? Okay, I applied to be the CEO of a certain company. They didn't hire me, but I'm just going to show up and walk through like, I got it anyway.
Yeah, this reminds me. I'm going to engage myself here now again, but on Seinfeld, Kramer would just show up to work at this place with his briefcase, and he was TCB, taking care of business. And, didn't pay him. He was just showing up every day. And finally, they're like, who are you? What are you doing here? So this is what this lady did. Amazing that she had to prove to her parents, I'm a flight attendant now, mom and dad. And they probably went with her to the airport to see if she got on the plane. That's what happened.
But air travel's stressful enough. We don't need surprise cast members showing up and being like, hello. And it's like, wait, are you actually? But it also brings up this whole thing about identity verification. It's not just the uniform. Like, what is going on? You would think.
Yeah, it's like what people say. Like I've done it. No, I've done it, but you can see it. If you walk around with a clipboard at an event, you're usually pretty good. You can walk anywhere as long as you look official with a clipboard. You're good to go. So
I do have a friend of mine in Los Angeles who can get into any party ever. I can't tell you the number of parties he has snuck into. And I too had to sneak into, I was working an event, but I had to get in because I'd like change name tags on a table. And I had on a gown. It was like a black tie event. I had on a gown and I just walked right in. And because I walked in, I mean, I was on a mission, but because I was on a mission, nobody bothered me. And I was like, I just snuck into this event. Like I don't have actual access. So
walk as you belong, just like she did. I'm curious, listeners, how would you sneak in somewhere? Let's get this on here. If you could be like this flight attendant, what would you do to sneak into a major event or hotel? Or maybe you already have. Let us know what works.
Yeah, there you go. So, okay. Do you think we have time for a little real-time recap?
I think we got some time.
Okay, cool. Why don't you begin?
All right, real-time recap. What I saw in hospitality out on the streets this past weekend. You know, I don't usually do this, but I went back to a place that I did not like. It's a place called Upper Buena Vista, and it's a little pocket in Miami. Next time you're around, I want to show it to you. And they took this city block basically and turned it into like a Bali Tulum vibe. But I went 3 years ago, and the shops weren't open yet, and it wasn't fully done, and it was just boring. This time they've added wellness, so there's a whole like ice bath and sauna and yoga area. Then you have all these cool shops and cafes, all within a jungle setting. They put new music in, which was, again, talking about the vibe, which was kind of like you felt like you were in a different country. And then you had people walking around cleansing the aura, which was kind of cool to see, like walking around with these incense and smoke just through this giant kind of open area. And they do it often. And then they had a farmer's market. It's just cool to see a place like that activated that was full of all different interesting people. And I had a great time just hanging out. It's, you know, it's just a cool thing to see when you can get the right mix of these mom and pop shops and a cool vibe and combining different things into one, right? With all different sections of hospitality all in one, I thought was very cool. So Upper Buena Vista, check it out. They got some cool things there. I'm going to go back again just to make sure it's always great, but it seemed really top tier for me. And I'm thinking a lot about the things I did there just in a couple hours. It was great.
Love that. That's awesome. That kind of reminded me. So I had an interesting experience actually last night. I had a dinner at the restaurant High Stakes at the Rio in Las Vegas. And I was running a little bit late just because they moved it earlier and whatever. I was running a little bit late. And I mean, we've all been there where, you know, you kind of, it's a group dinner and then you get there and you say to the hostess, oh, I'm here meeting a group. And half the time they're like, yeah, go in. Like they don't care. And this was very simple, but I thought it was awesome. So I was like, oh, I'm meeting a group here. And they're like, Sarah? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, oh, yes, we've been expecting you right this way. And it was so simple. They knew, they were able to put that together. Now, obviously, that might be more challenging to do if you have multiple people that are coming. They can't remember everybody's name. But it turned what could have just been like, oh, yeah, just go on in. Good luck finding, which is, I feel like has been the norm in all of my dining experiences as of late, to make it super personal. And it just set the tone. And again, I love these reminders because these are things that we know, or maybe we've experienced them at one point or another. And I feel like we've kind of lost the way. Like we've lost that little nuances over the years. So that was a nice little moment. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it just shows that they care, right?
Yeah.
And even if it is forced, it just, you know, it's just a good training to make you feel like, oh, they know me. They're going to take care of me. They knew my name. They know what I need. And we're going to be good to go. And so I like David again saying people want more places to gather. He loves Upper Buena Vista. Yeah, he came out that day with us. It was great. And then Rebecca Parker on YouTube, you're back. What are we talking about? We're talking about all things hospitality, Rebecca. And you can subscribe and join us every Wednesday to make sure that you catch what we're talking about live.
Yep.
Good thing. So quote of the week. Do we have one?
Do we have a quote of the week?
I don't think we have a quote of the week this week.
Ooh, that's okay.
We should give one. We should give one. I see Will sweating back there. He says no.
He's like, no.
Laugh out loud.
I will give a quote that I think you can never go wrong with. And I think it's always one that we should be reminded of. And it's the golden rule. So long as you live your life by the golden rule, do unto others as you would like done unto yourself. I feel like so many things would be different in this world.
I agree.
I agree.
That goes for anything, right?
Yeah.
It's everywhere now in our world. We just need a little bit more kindness, a little bit more patience.
Sure.
Just treat people how you want to be treated, but some people like getting treated badly. So I don't know.
Well, they can save that for their weekends. Okay.
Yeah, that is true. Well, man, what a great show here. Man, we nailed it right on there. 30 minutes of great news.
I know.
Here in hospitality. We shared a lot of things, everybody. So if you found something really fun, interesting, informative, make sure to pause this right now. Send it off to one of your friends because they're going to enjoy it just as much as you did. And make sure to subscribe.
Definitely. And let us know. Did you like our new little segment with Unhinged News?
Yes. I want to do a whole show of just unhinged stuff.
I think that would be, oh my gosh, there's so much cray-cray in the world. Like we could do, we could just
cray-cray.
I mean, that's me being nice, but it's like this cray-cray in the world. That's like, you know what I'm talking about. Like something that you hear and you're like,
all the time.
It's just that. So that type of news. Let us know. Maybe if things get wild and crazy and you guys really like that, we can do a random one-off where it's just.
We're doing it. I want to do that one.
Okay, done.
Yes. All right. Well, listen, until next week, everybody.
You know it. Stay hospitable.